The Book of Light teaches rise and fall of civilizations. Because as the great Tathagata Buddha says, what arises must pass away. So let's not get too attached to that which arises and changes its form, especially concerning the physical body. Because if you attach to that, you will suffer. Matter per se is eternal, just changing in structure and form. That's a great difference. So don't identify too much with your physical body that arises and passes away, because then you will suffer. In meditation you can detach from all of that, even from thoughts, and you still remain. Now we have a research in history. Historians, they trace back events by documents and so forth, and try to discover what happens then and there. There is a more secure way of doing that, and that's the occult research. And we find that through the Book of Light in Akasha Chronic. Akasha Chronic. And this is the memory of the Logos. See? There everything, all the past is there. All Mahamanvantaras and all Mahapralayas, all arisings of the universe and all passing away of the universe. What goes up must come down. That counts for the entire universe. Hermes, as above, so below. Universe arises into space and passes away or withdraws into the center point, so-called black holes and so forth. Now, in that Akasha Chronic, we can even see past, present, and future. Because there is a plane for the divine awareness, consciousness. Past, present, and future are as an eternal now. See? Now the past of the zillions of years can be aware there in that Akasha Chronic. And it is an eternal now for divine awareness, but only when they manifest, when this eternal now manifests in time and space, then we have the illusion of past, present, and future. Excuse me, dear friends, you see, when I cough, I am not the body. I don't want to cough. The body wants. Now, as soon as we know that, we can become enlightened in a second. I tell you that. Now, the entire evolution, teaches the Book of Light, happens under the law, or by a law, of reincarnation. And that rules everything. It's a perfect justice. Perfect justice. And it permits us to have many lives until we, by conquering the person. Do you know where person comes from? It derives from persona. Latin means mask. Your body is a mask. That's not you. That's not you. And we come back again and again and again and again and again until we master that personal self. We call it the lower self in... You see, I will come back again and again until I master my coughing. And my body won't cough anymore. Yeah, that's it. You see, you are your own savior. And you are your own judge. We have a rule, or rather a goal. What is the goal? A non-coughing person. A God-man. That's the goal. a God-man. Do you know what that is? There's a being that has attained nirvana and yet renounces nirvana, takes on physical forms without any limits. So, such a monad, such a liberated God spark can take on any form. Mostly it is with us in a human form, male form. Like the Mahachohan, who dictated the Book of Light to me. Why? I don't know, but I hope I do my best. So that's the goal in life, God-man. To become a God-man or a God-woman. See, gender doesn't count if you are enlightened and liberated because you're a divine spark. God has no penis and no vagina. Dear clerical fanatics who declare God to be a he. God is an energy dwelling in the center point, never leaving it, but manifesting periodically by reflection. Now, we have a law of reincarnation, and that is the cosmic law of, how could we call it? Cause and effect. Cause and effect. And all human activities are bound by a chain of that law. Cause and effect. Cause and effect. And like in physical nature, we have that law, we learned it in school already. Action equals reaction. And as above, so below, says Hermes. So we can say that as in physical nature, that law rules. It rules in spiritual nature. The spiritual law karma causes that all human beings, or all beings, have, when they act, they have their exact reaction, which they experience then as suffering or pleasure and pain, good or bad, this or that. When we do something, this activity goes in far away time epochs. I'll give you an example. I asked my teacher, I tapped on like this, I did this. No, she said do this. I did this. She said, what do you think happens with that vibration? I said, well, it's there. No, she says, it travels throughout the entire universe. And then, since the universe is curved, it returns. What do you think, she says, where does it return? In the kitchen, in the bathroom, or on the floor? It returns exactly there where you tapped. Dear friends, you can't escape. You can blame God as long as you want, 24 hours a day. It won't help you. It won't help you. Study the Book of Light. Listen to the path. As you sow, you shall reap, life after life. And this teaching of reincarnation was removed from Bible approximately 500 AD during Council to Nicaea and others. So many things, dear friends, that you did in one life may only find their reaction in later lives. Maybe 1,000 years later, or maybe 20 lives later. Why is that so? I'll give you an example. You tortured in Egyptian times, maybe in Atlantean times or so, when chemical science was very evolved. You were a black magician and you tortured somebody with chemicals. The reaction to that action must wait until there is a culture that equals approximately this situation. So you may become a chemist in this life. Somebody will throw acid in your face, or something will explode, or you will reap what you sow. Sounds cruel, is so. That's how we learn. You have bad thoughts, negative thoughts, conquer them immediately. Say no, or say love, or say love, love, love. Say may all beings be happy. Conquer and transform that spiritual thought. It's called spiritual alchemy. We will talk about that. Now, human being is the only cause of the effects that happen to him. And he decides by doing and by not doing all circumstances of happiness or unhappiness. The following incarnation. Don't be blinded or confused by people who now are great gurus, maybe, and they are handled on the marketplace by the world and so forth and so on. And in truth, they are the worst monsters that you can imagine. I give you one hint, and I warn the Dalai Lama here. This man is at the edge of being destroyed in Avicii for the evil deeds he did, and it would do him good if he turns around, if he confesses everything that he did and caused, if he abandons his black magic activities, and if he comes to the Book of Light. If not, and we'll talk about that in the next lecture, he will suffer extremely. But dear friends, don't be sidetracked by so-called great beings in this world. Often, these are beings, they don't know that they're worshipped everywhere, and they walk and walk and walk, and they don't know that they are walking directly in direction of an abyss.